Issue number 11 of the Power Rangers comic by Boom Studios begins with Spectrum 2 arriving somewhere. Basically, Trini guided the Rangers to this location through her connection with the Yellow Emissary. There's no planet in sight for the others, but Trini can see something out there. The three Omega Rangers teleport down to the Yellow Emissary's location. Once they set foot on wherever they are, the Rangers are immediately attacked by what appears to be some fabric that's talking in riddles. This is, of course, the Yellow Emissary. The reason the Emissary is attacking the Rangers is because he wanted the Rangers to stay away, because they bring death and destruction. After a bit of fighting, it just suddenly comes to an end as the Rangers convince the Emissary that they're not just going to leave. That ended rather easily in the end. The fight was almost completely pointless in my opinion. While that's happening, Drakon is aboard Spectrum 2 with C. Drakon goes off alone, and then he seemingly coughs up or rips something out of his mouth. It's a tool for removing the collar around him. The Rangers see how Kia killed the Blue Emissary, and that started a chain of events. They see Zartus and the Celestial Shard from Mighty Morphin issue number 11. So now the Omega Rangers know that Zartus and the Eltarians want unlimited power. The death of the Blue Emissary gave birth to the first Empyreal, and once Zartus has resurrected all three, he can reshape the universe. Destroying the Celestial Shard won't do anything. Zartus must be killed. That's not the Omega's purpose though. Their purpose is to kill the Yellow Emissary, for if the Empyreal finds him, that's another Empyreal resurrected. Back on Spectrum 2, Drakon gets his Morpher back. It seems that Drakon was working with the Empyreals all along, and now that the Rangers have found the Yellow Emissary, they give control of his Morpher back. And with that, the Empyreals show up and they start attacking the Omega Rangers and the Emissary. So yes, Drakon double-crossed the Rangers. It really wasn't surprising, and there was just no suspense at all, seeing as most of the readers knew this would happen. It just feels a lot of time was wasted on this unnecessary evil. I can't believe we wasted almost a year for this inevitable moment. Anyway, seeing as C is the only one besides Drakon on the Spectrum 2, he tries to kill Drakon, which is what he wanted to do right from the beginning. The funny thing is, had C killed Drakon right at the beginning, he wouldn't have been around the Omega Rangers, so they would never have led him to the Yellow Emissary. Therefore, the Empyreals wouldn't be here. Ultimately, the battle ends with Drakon plunging the Dragon Dagger into C's head. However, C is still needed by Drakon, so he's not totally destroyed yet. The Rangers battle out with the Emissaries, and you have to wonder, what was the actual plan? The Omega Rangers busted Drakon out of the command center to find the Empyreals, but the Empyreals were using Drakon and the Omega Rangers to find the Yellow Emissary. Did the Empyreals or Zartus know that the Omega Rangers were going to help Drakon escape from the command center and therefore locate the Yellow Emissary? The issue ends with the Empyreals tearing the Yellow Emissary apart, so they achieved what they wanted. I really wanted to like this issue, but I just couldn't like it that much. Maybe as the story arc was dragged out for so long, the writing suffered as a result. It was good to see that the Omega Rangers have learned the truth about Eltarians being evil, and that the Rangers finally found the Yellow Emissary. I just thought Drakon being controlled by the Empyreals the whole time, hiding a tool in his mouth or wherever it was, and the Empyreals using the Omega Rangers to look for the Yellow Emissary was just far too convenient. It's almost like trying to wrap up loose threads in one issue to prepare us for the next story arc, the Eltarian War. One thing's for sure, I'm glad to say goodbye to this story arc, and I'm only sort of looking forward to the Eltarian War now. I have a feeling if that story drags on for another year, the writing will suffer once again.